Didsbury Art Festival is in full swing after its launch last weekend. With me now is Festival Director Maria Stripling to tell us what's happening for the rest of the week. Well, therein lies the first question. What is happening for the rest of the week?
Well, Gemma, we've got still most of this week to go, and we only just started on Saturday, so we have almost 70-plus events still going on. Exhibitions, art exhibitions all over Didsbury, and a whole range of events for people of all sorts of ages, so workshops for children and concerts and theatre and comedy.
And if somebody wants to head on down to Didsbury, what venues are taking part in this?
Well, there's a whole range of venues, actually. Some of them might be surprising. We've had laundrettes involved, and we've got a number of the churches where they're having the concerts and theatre. We've got the sports clubs, and some things are happening in restaurants and bars as well, so about 30-odd venues.
What sort of acts and performances can people expect to see?
OK, well, some specific events. I suppose if we think about comedy, we've got some comedy at the Albert Club, that's a tennis club. We've got Mishmash, and we've also got a group called Lady Garden at the Cricket Club, and that's just two things there. We've got about half a dozen concerts happening during the day. They're mainly classical, but we've also got Afro jazz at a pub, and we've got sort of a Baroque ensemble, so a whole range of things.
And is this a ticketed event? Do you want people to get tickets, or can they just rock up and pay to come in?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you can just show up at the door and pay on the door. We've got one ticketed event on Saturday night, which is the closing event, and that's just because we want to control the numbers, because we've got a few bands playing and a ceilidh. But actually, to get tickets for that, you just need to go to Rasma Reed, which is a bookshop in Didsbury. But all the others, you can show up mainly on the door and pay.
And what sort of prices are we looking at to pay to come in?
Well, generally about £5. Most of them are less than that. And a few are just donations, so not very much.
Yeah, now, this is the first festival for Didsbury, isn't it, that you've organised?
It is.
What made you decide that Didsbury needed a festival?
Well, I came into contact with lots of people who were artists and musicians and of all sorts. And I started chatting to them about sort of 7 months ago and said, well, why is it that we don't do anything? And they said, well, we don't know. And when I started to ask people whether they thought it was a good idea, and everyone started to say yes, I thought, well, let's do it.
And how many people have you seen coming to the events so far?
I would say so far, if you take all the different small events and large, we've had probably over 1,000 since Saturday. We had nearly 1,000 people come in and out of the park for the opera and the jazz, etc. on Saturday. Last night I was in a church and there were more than 200 there for a world music concert, so it was fantastic.
So it's quite popular. And that finishes on the 3rd of October, doesn't it?
Finishes on Saturday. Website is www.didsburyartsfestival.org for anyone who wants to have a look at the programme, or go to the library in Didsbury and you can pick up a programme there.
Wonderful, thank you very much indeed. OK, after the break, Ian's going to have our sports news, but first, Mark Simpson, who's appearing at the festival, is going to play us into the break.
Moon is calling her back. The time that he had lost track, he aches to taste her skin, to hold an old evil grin. The words she uses are the ones he refuses, and nobody sees him wince in pain. Moon is a nocturnal beast. His love for her troughs and it peaks. He aches to taste her skin, to hold an old evil grin. The words she uses are the ones he refuses, and he is left alone again naturally. Tulips grow. 'Cause I want to be ignored by the mindless, the soulless. I deplore